Good evening and welcome to my project demo. This API is built with Node.js, Express, MongoDB, Atlas, and deployed on Render. It supports CRUD operation, validation, error handling, Swagger documentation, Google OAuth authentication, and uses MongoDB Compass for database management. As you can see, it has been deployed on my render. This is what we have here. It has been deployed on my render. This is it on live render page, and this is my Swagger UI. So now we are going to proceed directly to our API endpoint. I'm going to use the contact API endpoint because the structure is the same and I did the same thing. I'm going to use it to talk about the endpoint while I'm going to use the tags API to give emphasis on our data validation. So first of all, we come here and we try to see how many contacts we already have here. And then we click this to execute. And we see that it's showing us that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 contacts already. Let's verify that from our Compass, MongoDB Compass. We come to contact on a MongoDB Compass and we refresh this to see we have 4 again, the same contacts that we have here. So we proceed again to our Swagger UI to see if we can actually add a new contact. We use the post function which we are using here to add a new contact. I already have a JSON file which have this numerical advantage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them to see if we can add it, and then once executed it, let's see the message it gives us. The message it gives us below is contact created successfully. Now on our MongoDB Compass, we are going to refresh our database to see if it has, yes, a contact has been created successfully, and it comes to the same fields that were filled while we did it outside there. So we are going to copy this ID because I'm going to be using it to do my update, to update contact and the rest of it that we have to do. Yes, so using the ID that we just did, we are going to see who can get that particular contact using just that ID. I copied the ID, I've posted it here, and I've executed. Let's see if that contact comes up. Now this is the response we got. The new contact we just created just give us this response that we got here. Contact found, and this is the name of the contact. And then let us proceed again to see if we can actually update that contact using the ID that we got. So while you try this out, you can put this on it. Because I already have my JSON field added here, let me see if I can update this to yahoo.com at yahoo.com. So let me see if I can update that to it and then to execute it to see if we can update it. And then we see that it has been updated here. Let's verify from MongoDB if that contact has been updated. It has changed again to at yahoo.com. So we are going to try the last one, which is to delete it using that same this thing. We are going to delete the contact here using the same contact ID. We proceed to the contact ID to delete the contact ID. And then I executed it here and I saw that this is the message it gives us. Contact has been successfully deleted and contact is no longer found. Let's verify again from our MongoDB database and we see that that contact is no longer here. So the same principle works for even our tax database, but the same principle because we set up the same things together. It works for our tax database. So right now I'm going to be using the tax database to validate, to show you how I did my validation. First of all, we can actually get all our contacts from our tax database, like I earlier said it. It's showing here we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will come back to our MongoDB and we'll go to our tags. We'll see that and we refresh it. We see that we have all 5 data. Now, to validate this, I'm going to be showing something different for the validation. I'm going to try to post this thing. I made the JSON file that already had it. And if you watch my JSON file very well, you are going to see that some of my fields were not properly filled. Some of my fields that were supposed to be in strings, they were not properly filled. So let me execute this and see what it will give to us. And then we are seeing error response status 400 validation field, and this is the details of the message. Assigned contact must only contain hexadecimal characteristics and length must be 24 characters and completed is not allowed. So when we go back to see what we're trying to add, we see that this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. If you look here, you see that that's where the error is. So it shows that we successfully validated our document very well. So the other functions work the same as the one that was earlier shown. Now I'll proceed to error handling. For error handling, the error handling was implemented using a try and catch. Invalid request return a proper error handling. So the only way we can show this is let's see if I can show this in a non-browser. For the error handling, I'm going to try to get the contact by ID, which was the contact that we already deleted that ID, this same contact. Let's see if we can get it by ID. You're going to see the response it's going to give to us. It's showing us error response status 404. And this is it, contact not found. And that's because we have already deleted the contact. And that's what it's going to show for us. It's showing us this is the contact we're looking for, but the contact is no longer found again. So we can also proceed again. We use that again to handle all our other error handlers. It was try and catch. If I try to post now, if I try to post a certain contact and there's an error in the contact, let's say let's show the parts that have to do with post contact. Let me post the contact, and then I intentionally take out the email field out of the contact. Once I take out this email field out of the contact and execute, you are going to see the message that is going to be sent down to us, which see the message we got down, error status 404, and then the message is validation field. The email is required. So we use this to actually handle our error. And if you come back here and you check here, you are going to see that, check our contact here, you are going to see that what we just posted has not actually entered our database, our data. For our deployment, you can see that this was deployed on our render. It has been deployed on our render database, and the link has been shared. If you scroll down the link, you are going to see that our .env files were hidden because on our GitHub, we actually used a git ignore to hide our .env files. So which makes them completely hidden from people outside. Now we proceed to our Swagger UI, which is our Swagger UI here, which I'm actually using to show the documentation. You see our schemas, our Swagger UI documentation and endpoints. You can see the schemas for contact and tags with the required fields. So you see these required fields for our contact and tags. And if you go back to our MongoDB to check what we have here, you see that they follow the same format of our schemas already there for the contact, and then for the tags too, it's the same format of our schemas being used there that have been there. So you can verify it from our UI for the tags too, it's the same formats that have been used there. So now let's go to authentication. Because I've signed it with my Google, I'm going to open an incognito drive to see if I can authenticate, if this works from here. So while we are here already, we are logged into our contact.api, and we are going to try to post something. We are going to try to post the same thing, the same information that we did, and it was working. We are going to try to post it without actually logging it. So we press the authentication, and if you try this in an incognito browser, you're going to see that the authentication is going to fail because it does not meet because you have not authenticated on Google. If you also check our schemas, you see that the same fields that were here are the same fields on our database. This demo shows CRUD operations, validation error handling, Swagger documentations, authentication, and data. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your time.